Hi, it's me again. Okay, so anyway, I showed you that already. All I did when I turned it off is I braided a little bit and then came back on. So, you know, you keep looking at your balance and seeing where it isn't straight and what you need to do about it. But this is kind of all wrong for hitting, which, you know, is what I love to try and hit anyway, just to make people gnash their teeth. But if you can see that edge is not a pretty sight. And I'm actually going to support underneath this ridge. Because see, I could lose a bunch of width and turn it and bring it in, but I'm trying to show you the extremes of what you can get away with good support, in a way, is what I'm trying to show you. It's right at the center line, kind of, and I got this big hump here, and it's cortexy. But if I support under that, I can go ahead, actually this one, there's a couple little things here. There's a little ridge right there that I can hit right there and thin that out. And then this is actually low, so it really ought to come, well, it's low this way, it ought to come this way. So let's do this. We'll take this little thing out. So that feathered that all the way down to here. And I'm just going to hit that the other way. I'm going to hit above the center line. Right here. Can you see it? I'm going to hit downward, try and wrap it. Okay, watch. Jammed in here. I'm trying to do all my support right because I'm on the edge. But see how I've got my fingers right here and I'm squeezing? That's not vibrating. That's not going anywhere. So I'm holding it and I'm hitting downward. Okay, now that should have broken the piece, right? Well, look, I mean, it ran the flake over that way a little bit and got rid of some of that, and then it ran the flake all the way over here and lowering this. So I was hitting inward. It's not going to break anything. If you get your finger way out on the edge, see how it's kind of wrapping and lowering? Now, it's not really doing anything over in here, but you can see that this is much flatter than it was, and it comes to right there. Because see, I still got the hump there, okay? And see, this is a thing above the center line and it's squared off. It should never be hit. Never, you hear me? Never. Don't do this. Can you see I hit above it? But it's still kind of wrapped. I mean, it's not great, but it's fine. It smoothed that out. It fixed that part of the edge. It's still steep on both sides, but I didn't lose any width in the process. So then, this is like a how not to video. It's crazy. Supporting under here, this is kind of cortexy. Really don't like hitting it. Give it another grind for luck. And I kind of grounded at the right angle I wanted for luck. There's a little thickness in there. So I'm actually going to try and drive this one a little bit farther in because it's not as bad as the others were. And it came into here and lowered that, flattened it, and feathered out into that other crap. Right here. Little low spot right in there, but support, hit inward, and it perfectly smoothed and flattened and blended it into there and over into there. It was actually a pretty big flake. Don't know if you can see it, but it just sort of blended. There was a little step right there, just blended that out, just blended into there. So you can see how flat that face is getting and how flat that face is getting. And once you get both of them as flat as you want, well, you just keep on coming in. But actually, this is looking like I could probably, if I wanted to, use indirect on this and actually go for a wide point type. If I wanted to. And you're kind of like, well, what do you want to do? Like, I don't know. I'm not sure I want to sit here and talk to myself. I mean, y'all are Y'all are never responsive. That was another thing I shouldn't have done. I hit high again, but I translated it and it ran over to there and over there. Stuck in my finger right there. I really think about 90% of the crap I get away with is color support. So now I've got to decide if I'm a power advocate or a support advocate, because I was talking about power all the time on some of the first videos. Now I'm harping on support. But the two are not mutually exclusive. I'm hitting above the edge again. I was hitting an unabraded edge. I don't care. I don't know why I'm radical today, but I don't know why I'm abrading everything. I use an abrader too often as if it were a billet. I'm just smoothing, getting rid of some. But you could say, well, hey, wait a minute, didn't you say that, you know, there's no point in smoothing before you get it down to as wide as you want it? Yeah, I said that. Do as I say, don't do as I do. And yeah, I don't really have any big ridges here, but I was just kind of thinking, well, at this point, you know, I could bevel the sucker in to where, you know, some reasonable place and then just pressure flake the heck out of everything. I mean, it's kind of flat. I should never have made these videos. Quills, this is your fault. I know you're out there. Not following my own advice. Do I want to make something wide? I mean, I was thinking, you know, make something fluted or something interesting, and here I am with a wide plate preform. These doves are just crazy this year. How many are in the yard, but they need to be paying me royalties for getting in my videos. What to do, what to do. I don't feel like making a wide point. It takes too much thought. I definitely don't feel like making 87 more videos here and punch notching today. Whatever. There's kind of a little lip there that I'm just trying to blend. And 2 hits and it's almost blended. All about the angles. Now, I don't know if he's changed it, but when Jason Newman does his indirect, he doesn't put anything underneath it. He just kind of holds it out there like that and hits it. And man, those flakes come off with enough velocity to cut through to China. I don't know if I'm wimp factor 6 or if he's just a wild man. don't think I can concentrate enough to do this like this today. I'm stepping stuff out. I'm not setting up these platforms good enough. And this rock has not been cooked. And it's crunchy rock, and I just hit in on that, trying to undercut that step, and just stepped it worse because of doing things wrong. I braid that way, get rid of a little bit of that concavity. And we'll see how much this flake wants to follow a ridge, because the ridge curves around in a circle and goes over there. So if I pinch on this side, under my little cloth, I'll pinch on that side of it. I hit it that direction. Well, I tried. It, you can see, can you see? Right there? It curved around, and it did follow that ridge, and it undercut it, and it barely took off that edge, but it didn't quite get that part, but I could, just pick that with a little pick and it would work to come off. So in theory, you were shown something that has value. Got a little ridge along there. That blasted pretty good. Kind of did what I wanted it to. Anyway, where is my little edge turner ruiner? Lots of support all over the place, and especially right where I'm hitting. Tilting it downward, trying to get that little cortex and chalk and crap off. Flip it over. See, I don't mind doing things in a sinuous, weird manner, because I still want this to be thick and weird shaped on the edges so I can use them. All I'm doing is just trying to bring them in a little bit and thicken them up, because everybody else would be tapering them and trying to make them thin right now as if they were finishing the point when they're not. And I'm trying to put sinuousness in it and thickness. And probably should abrade it before I flip it. See that knot? There's a knot in it. The knot is kind of to the downside here, so I'm supporting underneath it, turning it downward, and trying to catch it kind of on the side. See how I just nicked it on the left side? It's really easy to break a piece doing that. And that time I nicked it in the center, but I had my finger right underneath it, so no bending forces. This platform right here is a classic example. I would normally hit above the edge on that and kind of undercut this little steppiness and run it in on the ridge. The problem is I'm likely to accidentally hit too low and hit this, and that's way too low. So the way to avoid that is bring that up. Once you bring it up, then if you hit it, it's still going to help you do what you want to do in the first place, which was undercut that little step in the middle of that flake right there. And it undercut it and it feathered it out. Whereas if I had left that lower lip where it was, and if I'd accidentally hit that, it would have hinged out right about there because it's too low. Okay, if you don't take anything else away from any of my stuff today, I just told you something. That was a real dangerous flake. I don't know if you can see the little concavity there, and that was kind of a square edge, and I just kind of hit over to the right of it a little bit and feathered it into there. But I do not recommend doing this. And I just did it again because now I had a knife edge on that side, so it's not as dangerous. Just did it again and just feathered it into there. A lot of little blending crap. But you can say, well, why are you blending it if you're bringing them edges in? I don't know. Get off my back. What is it? I think it was Ralph Waldo Emerson who said, do I contradict myself? Very well then, I contradict myself. I am large. I contain multitudes. And I probably got multitudes in me too. I'll be back.